G'day and welcome back to the channel. New day, new team. So another interesting team from the team calculator. I feel like it has a few answers to our questions from previous teams. Yeah, we've got Coil Milotic to try and answer the Masquerada. We're going to give a Zoomeroo a go to try and counter the Swampert. It's not as fast, but we've got just enough speed so that when a +1 from our Trailblaze hits, we should be able to outspeed outside of rain. And I've changed it to Adamant Zoomeroo. So I had Jolly from the poker base, which I will leave in the description below. You can always move the nature around to try and inch out an extra point or two, which can be sometimes handy. We'll have our first opponent. Terrain. So, pretty similar to what we've seen yesterday. So, we're expecting the Teleport lead. So, we could just go straight into Gengar then. And then, obviously, we'll trial our Azumarill against their Swampert. But they're likely going to bring Raichu. So, we're going to need our Diggersby, I feel. And that also kind of covers the Archeludon. But they've also got Masquerada. So, we're in a bit of a pickle. Because we kind of need more than 3 Pokemon to take with us. So, let's have a look. They're likely going to bring the Pelipper, which means they're going to need to bring a Mega. And it makes sense for them. Kind of actually it makes sense for them to bring Raichu. I think that makes sense. They could bring Masquerada to cover the Azumarill, but then that doesn't give them a lot of options. That doesn't give them a mega option. They're on a 2-win streak, so let's see what they decide to lead with. It is the Pelipper, so we're expecting Mega Swampert in the back. And the Mega Swampert counteracts the fact that they haven't got to be bringing Raichu, so maybe not. But let's see. We've got Shadow Ball and Sledge Ray now, which is pretty cool. And I reckon we just give that a click. Gotta let the Pelipper in. So we'll at least get with the Pelipper, but then we're going to lose to a Swift Swim Mega Swampert Earthquake. That's going to be my prediction. Alright, we triggered the Focus Search. I'm expecting Weather Ball in return. Hurricane. Not too bad. I love that. Very confused though. That's unfortunate. So let's roll the dice. Yeah, I think we roll the dice. It's unfortunate because they could obviously just hurricane us again, but we got the Shadow Ball, so all good. Now, that will confusion lasts for 1 to 3 turns, so I don't know how long the confusion is going to go for, but that's certainly disruptive. But yes, as I'm expecting Swampert to come in now, in the rain, it'll be Mega. So the Focus Sash, which means I've only got 3 turns of rain. That's wonderful. So, yeah, I don't think, I'm expecting Swampert to be faster than us here, so it doesn't matter what I click. I think we're going down. Also, our Azumarill isn't covered for Mega Swampert in the rain, so alright, we get our Snap out of Confusion, so we get our Protect, which stalls out a turn of rain, which is what we want. They're flip turning. Ooh, that is interesting. Not what I expected from them. What would they flip turn into? Trying to think of what their strategy would be now. They've got 2 turns of rain. We might try and preserve Gengar and just swap into Diggersby. Diggersby will take the flip turn hit. They should do it again. will plan comes into play. So, yeah, now let's protect for a turn, and then no more rain. We go for the flip turn again, but no. Rain stop now. See, I'm not expecting this to be faster from this one. 133, I think 150. Am I faster? Am I slower? Is the body slam? We are faster, okay. So we get a bit of chip, unnecessary. The flip turn comes out. So we at least get to see what their last Pokemon is, before we decide whether we bring Gengar or do more. But they're going to be needing to reset the ring now, otherwise, yeah. They've got Arceus. Okay. So let's lock them in. What is Arceus doing? Flash turn? Thunderbolt? Not Electro Shot, obviously. So let's scout. Flash turn. Okay. We can head for that. So let's disable the flash cannon, assuming they use it again. We haven't revealed that they're disabled, so it's a lot advantage. Are they thinking whether we're disabled now and they're going to change it up? They change it up. Put on. They will. Although they're choice scarfed. Okay. Was not covered for choice scarf Arceus. If we'd have got the disable on then, we would have been in an absolute winning position. Yeah, our third pick, unfortunately, didn't cover for this scenario. Because we are at a significant disadvantage. I mean, we can trail Blaze to try and get some speed, but they're locked into Flash Cannon, which should do okay damage. But that does block their stamina, which it does. Now it's going to be even harder for our Azumarill, so unless this is big crits, I mean we're at +1. Should survive this with 1 hit point to go, and yeah, we're still not fast enough to actually choice down and kill you. And we'll do enough damage, so we'll wrap that up on there. Yeah, I think we didn't bring enough for Arceus. And the answer to Arceus, I don't know if it's Corviknight. So we'll see if we run into that scenario again. And try something a little bit different. We're on to our next opponent, Orpheus. And I've got the Esperata, Arceus, Rotom, Staraptor, Raichu, and Primarina. So what are they going to lead with? Whatever they're leading with, they were super quick to lock that in. I'm expecting an Esperata speed boost into like a Staraptor or a Raichu. So if we try and cover off the Esperata lead with our Staraptor, then we'll have the Rotom to cover the Staraptor. And then I think we're going to have to take Corviknight to cover the Arceus, because I don't want to be trapped like we were last time, but I'm not expecting another choice scout Arceus, but you never know what to expect, really. is we could also baton pass +2, because we can Mega Evolve here and get another +1, and then try for big knockback damage, because we're obviously not threatened by Luminal Crash. And yeah, usually the moveset is, the ability is Speed Boost with Baton Pass, and then like Calm Mind. Okay, so they just protect to get the turn 1 Speed Boost, that's fine. They're still carrying our Meg 2 with them. So it depends if all they're going to do is Baton Pass the 2. No, okay, so they're going to Calm Mind. Which means they've got Raichu in the back. But, yeah, okay, so then the Meg 2 doesn't mean much to attack if they're just going to pass the +1 of the Calm Mind and the Speed Boost. So, this is a weird, they're going to swap likely to Raichu, I would imagine. So, they're going to need to either pivot or try and do big damage. Let me try and do big damage. Protect for another Speed Boost, fair enough. So what are they at now? +3 for speed, and only 1 for attack and defense, so could have pivoted then. Good. I'm going to have to keep the pressure going. So there's the Baton Pass. So they're not passing any defensive boosts, so whatever they're swapping to. Oh, there's Dream Arena. Right. Okay, so that's a very, very fast Dream Arena with 1 Calm Mind, so not overly threatening. It's got water and fairy moves. It is threatened by Rotom. Yeah, I'm gonna get Rotom in. Because we can theoretically try and pick off the Esperanza, right? But yeah, obviously that Moonblast is going to do big damage to Scrappy and big damage to Rotom. And Rotom's not fast enough to survive another attack of that. We are in a spot for them. The switching right now isn't going to help. Okay, they've just swapped. And they just lost all of their whole big benefits. I'm rightfully confused. There'll be some Thunderbolt. Yeah, they had a Thunderbolt then, and then just decided, no, not gonna happen. Okay, so now that we know that the lead as well, we'll save our Rotom for a bit later. And we'll go Scrappy. Then I'm taking a Hydro Pump Lightning Bolt here. Hydro Pump. Bit of damage, that's fine. The Lightning Bolt will do less. So they're not overly specially attacking, or yeah, at least good. So now they didn't bring any Mega, so we'll just knock all of their items off. Get rid of their leftovers. They missed the Will-O-Wisp. That could really hurt us if we don't avoid that. But we are also just faster than them, so we don't big damage with them like that. Let's just Rain Punch them. Oh, left of them 1%. That is most unfortunate. Okay, but they're playing Pain Split instead of Will-O-Wisp, so... Because that's 75, that's 65. It was boosted by 50% because the tail was holding an item. They're no longer holding an item, so... We'll just Drain Punch them again. do a bit of extra damage, get back into the green. Do they go for the will-o-wisp again? They do. I guess we're just going to slowly whittle them down, even slower now. Yeah, I don't need Scrafty for the Esperanto, I don't need Scrafty for the Primarina, so Scrafty's use is done its job. We managed to get a Mikado, so... So yeah, Esperanto comes back in. Again, we're not over-threatened by the Lumina Crash. They don't have... So I'm expecting just Protect here to get a speed boost. Fine. Again, they've only got Lumina Crash, so the best they can do this turn is Baton Pass. And if they Baton Pass, we'll at least get rid of the Primarina there. So there's the Baton Pass. And we've narrowly protected our Corviknight, which is good. We also haven't revealed our Corviknight, so we'll at least knock off whatever their item is, which was a choice there. Right, so why Baton Passing speed boost to a Primarina? That seems unnecessary. But that is crazy. So yeah, they've left all their speed really. I think we're just going to swap in Corviknight. I'm not sure whether I want to sack my Scrafty or Rotom at this stage. So if we swap into Corviknight, it'll tank a Fairy move. Fine. They've also got water moves, which we resist. And potentially a grass move. We've got leftovers. We don't need to be iron defensing, but let's see what a Brave Bird does. So, Calm Mind again into the special attack and special defense. So, Brave Bird should do okay here. Big damage. We get a little bit of recall, but again, we're not overly impacted by Primarina's move, so we just Brave Bird again, right? Yeah, they were in such a commanding lead with their Primarina, and then just threw them in. So, we'll take that. They're putting all their hopes in Primarina, but Corviknight, Brave Bird does the job. And then, yeah, I imagine they would forfeit at this stage, because there's not a lot that Esperanto can do. But we'll see if they decide to play this out. They could try and Lumina Crash us. But they decide to protect to try and get some speed. It's fine. They opted for Roost. If they wanted to hang around, they're more than welcome to. Yeah, now back on full. They've got some speed boost, but they can't KO us, and they're on 1%. So, what you gonna do? They decide to do it anyway. It doesn't do much damage. Corviknight. Good choice. I mean, I could also just as equally gone Scarlet, or even Mega Scarlet, and that's an option that we could try. That's something we want to see. But no. Corviknight. Just Brave Bird, Body Press, Impish to get big defense. That helps with obviously being a wall, and then the iron defense doubles that, and then Body Press uses that as an attack, so it's big damage. So yeah, we lost the first one. The second one probably shouldn't have gone our way, but it did, so I cannot complain. But we go on again with Matilda. And they are very, 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 over by a Clefable before. I don't want that to happen again. They've got a few melee and then Primarina and Ceruledge. So if we're trying to get rid of their Ceruledge, we've got Gengar, but also with Scary, also with Digger's Bee. I think we lead with Digger's Bee, we'll bring Coilmilotic in the back, and then yeah, Scrafty would be not useful or very helpful. So I think this is where Gengar is going to come in. We've just got to worry about their Raichu. So I've got Digger's Bee for the Raichu and their Ceruledge. Coilmilotic should be able to take out everything else. So our focus is Ceruledge and Raichu, rather Gengar and Digger's Bee. Okay, so they lead with Ceruledge. Great. That, yeah, enables our option, because yeah, they led with a Fairy, would be in a bit of a predicament, but they did not. So we just Earthquake, pop their weak armor, see that they're focus sashed. They might Sword Stance here, which would be very bad for them. It's a combo I've used in a previous video. So yeah, there's the Sword Stance. Unfortunately, it doesn't help them because I'm also sashed. So it's a cool trick, because if you look at Ceruledge now, it's +2 attack, +2 speed. But just drops to another Earthquake, unfortunately. Even if Bitterbird restores all their life, they've used up the sash, so we weren't scared. And it didn't. It only restored half, so we just go free, KO, both the sash versus both the sash. So had a plan for that. Went to plan. So now we're going to see what they've got in the back. That was their first little trap for us, which we navigated. Now it's Clefable. Now we can sit around Body Slam and wait for them to be Cosmic Power Problem. But I just want to go straight into Gengar. I just want to get straight onto this Clefable and not give it a chance to do anything out of the ordinary, like Calm Mind. So the question is, do we do big damage to it or do we disable? I think we disable. Because they reckon they can try and do it again through a Sludge Wave, and they might try a second one, or a Baton Pass. If we disable their Calm Mind, then they're forced to Baton Pass. If they were going to Baton Pass, then passing on +1/+1 is okay. So let's see if we chose correctly. We did. So they were going to sit there, tank an attack, and keep buffing. But Disable shut that down, so I'm expecting them to Baton Pass now. So we're on top of it. Which means they probably have their Raichu in the back. Ooh. Yeah, because the second one of those would have just been slowing that process down. Clefable's got full Anthrax and leftovers. But if our one attack did 70%, this should finish the job. So they can't Baton Pass, they can't Mind now. Can't really do much. So 2 down, 1 to go. I do like the Mega Disable. Being fast gives you the option to shut down things that they used last turn. Unfortunately, their last Pokemon is Raichu. It just depends if it's the fast Raichu or the slow Raichu. It is the fast Raichu. So they're going to be in a bit of a predicament at the moment because we do not speed tie with the Mega Raichu. It was an option, I chose to. So assuming that they're max, we do not win this. But they're going straight into the Zap Cannon, so let's also bought Raichu, which we didn't have enough for. So let's go back to Gengar. Expecting them to Zap Cannon again, because they're obviously not going to Focus Blast. It's kind of burned up a little bit of their PP, so maybe we can burn out all of their Zap Cannon PP. I don't know, because I don't think there's a scenario in which we survive this. Gengar even falls through the So, now it's a question, can Corbin survive a Zap Cannon? Because we've got the wrong Pokemon for the wrong counter. We're not going to be Brave Birding, the best we've got is Body Press. So, 50-50, I don't know what the outcome of this is. No, do not survive. I don't know even if there's enough special defense we could put in to survive that, but now we've got a bit of a hole for Raichu that we need to look at. We've got Meowscarada and Vasculegion covered, but now we've opened ourselves up to Raichu. So this is kind of similar to yesterday morning's meta, so we are now Ethan in the Ultra Ball rank 4. This is the kind of Pokemon people are playing down in the depths. Okay, bit of a cool team. Bit of a slow, bit of a fast. I'm thinking, what do they lead with? I don't know. That is what I would call a hodgepodge team of a bunch of different Pokemon. I reckon we could almost lead with Azumarill. But they could lead with Charizard, so let's have hands of Charizard. Other than Gengar. I think we lead with Charizard. We obviously need an answer for Raichu, which is going to be our biggest beat. Then, we're going to need an answer for... Yeah, I reckon Azumarill here. We're going to Body Pressing. They're not really physical, are they? But I reckon that might do us. Maybe against their Gengar Corbin might have been a better choice. But let's see what that decide to do. It is their Gengar. Okay. Again, we're faced with a scenario where not having max SPs in Gengar is a bad thing. We're probably going to use our Diggersby to try and get us out of this one, but let us Mega Evolve, see if they Mega Evolve, determine from the speed of that who went first, to see whether we have a chance. Okay, well, we Mega Evolve, they do not. Does that mean they've invested less speed? No, they are Choice Scarfed, and they are going to Choice Scarf themselves into Shadow Ball. Incorrect choice, and this is why you scout. Unless they're Focus Sashed. They could be Focus Sashed. But, if they're not, and this was their opportunity to try and snake out Gengar, then swapping into Diggersby right now is the correct choice. They can't pivot out. Oh no, they can, because they're Ghost, and Ghost isn't impacted by the Shadow Tag. But let's see if they can change their move. They do. Now, they don't have any flying. That's not the one I wanted. That one. They got Charizard. But on the off chance they don't swap to Charizard, let us perfect. Okay, so it is a choice scar. Focus Sash thing. Because they've obviously just changed. We're going to be ready for everyone. Okay, so there's the Focus Sash. Sometimes they're choice scar. Sometimes they're Focus Sash. Sometimes they're Mega Gengar. Gengar comes in many forms. And they're just going to Giga Drain us again. Giga Drain, I expect, because they're not going to be bold enough to Shadow Ball. Giga Drain goes overall. But we are faster, and we've broken their sash. So they are now in not a good position, and we get to keep our Digger speed. So yeah, we can Shadow Ball here. Mega Game goes faster than Slow Game. So we pick up the KO, easy. Again, the benefits of scouting your opponent. Okay, so now we've got 3 in there. We can't use our Shadow Ball, but we have our Azuma to cover for their Drampa, so they get the Quick Claw boss. So they would be chuffed, because they're going to probably do a Dragon Pulse or a Hyper Voice. No, they wouldn't have done Hyper Voice, they went Drago Meteor. They thought they had that in the bag. But alas, we pivoted correctly. We get a Cobra with a Fairy Feather to just immediately KO Drampa. 2 down, 1 to go. So I don't know if this is conclusive evidence that we should keep the Zero in the team. But now we are in a huge big spot of weather, because our Applejet will have to happen in the rain. Is that good or bad? Are they going to... I can't even... we're just going to have to Applejet. We do need to stall out their sun, for sure. Oh, okay, it is not the Sun Charizard. So this should do okay damage. And they don't have access to one thing. They've got access to that. They don't have access to what I was trying to say. They don't have access to Solar Beam, which is what you would have in the sun. They have Giga Impact though. Good on them. That was their out. They're now having to charge for a turn. They are not flying because they're top claws. So let's get Digger's beat in with Digger. If this was Gen 1, they would be able to move again, but it is not. They have Giga Impact, they must recharge. So we'll go Big Earthquake off, and this might be enough, and it is. Alright, cool ending. Yeah, a bit of a scouting, navigating around their game there, but once we figured out it was just focus sash, then that made things a lot easier. So, well played, Ethan. Unfortunately, your Mega Charizard had some moves, but not enough against Azuma. Let's see if we can get back to Ultra Ball rank 3. That's the goal, that's the plan. Progress. Climbing. Vamp. Vamp's got another bit of a randomish looking team. They could lead with Aggron or Dragonite. I'm expecting Milotic to make a play here. They have locked in super quick. We have to watch out for their Zoroark and Delayed causes some issues. They are somewhat physical, so if we lead with Corviknight, that gives us the option to get some iron defenses up, assuming they don't lead with their Zoroark, which they could very well do. If they do that, and then yeah, we'll need a cover for the Milotic, and that also gives us access to things. Or do we take Trail Blades? I think we take Trail Blades. That gives us then options to play rough against the dragons. Yeah. I reckon that's okay. So yeah, just mindful not to body press turn 1, because it could be a Zoroark. So, Scrafty Admire my Scrafty. So they're leading with Milotic, apparently. So they could easily coil here, turn 1. Let us Brave Bird, because they could... Okay, so it is Milotic. Got that sorted. So yeah, we'll Brave Bird for a bit of damage. Scout that wasn't as heroic. It's not. They could very easily try and press to sleep now, which would be bad. We'll also get out of further. Okay, and so this is why we brought a Zoomer. So I think we get a Zoomer in, or we get Gengar in? I think we get a Zoomer in. I'm thinking Gengar to maybe do some disable stuff, but the Zoomer at least comes in, a bit more threatening. They do hypnosis us, which is annoying. So yeah, Gengar will obviously just be on the set there as well. They're back on 4. We'll reveal that answer to the we'll get our guaranteed turn to sleep. They'll do some more curling, which is attack and defense. Yeah, Trailblaze is still there for that choice. Yeah, this is going to be rough. So let's see what Trailblaze does. Not a lot. Really not a lot. We do get some speed, but I don't think, unless we crit, because what are they at now? +3. I mean, it's +3 attack though. So unless they're a physical with it, I'm expecting them just to hypnosis again, yeah? And they do. But I don't know what the answer is to Zoomer. If they coil hypnosis, usually Scald. And Scald's not doing much to Zoomer. And we've got 2 Fizz and we've got Gengar. So this Mega does a tiny bit of damage. We may get an accuracy drop. We don't, luckily. Yeah, I think we're good for Trailblazing now. We need to play rough. We do wake up. We avoid miss on the playback, which is unfortunate. Because we get the Fairy Feather and we get stabbed. So we lose accuracy, so it's going to make this an even harder fight. They're almost back down full. So keen to see what a playback will do. They're very well just going to hypnosis us again. And avoid. This is not looking good for us. So the question is, do we lose our Zoomerville and get Gengar in, or do we try and come back? Do we need a Zoomerville for other things is the question. We kind of do need a Zoomerville, so let's get Gengar in on a Muddy Water. Now we can try and disable it. Now we're putting it in Spirit Leather. So, hopefully we survive it. We do. We lose accuracy, but I don't think status moves have an accuracy. No, they do. So we could miss disable. That would be very detrimental to our strategy. So, let's see if we connect. Because if we do miss, that's game over for us. I am just going to end it there. Yeah, that was our opportunity to disable their Muddy Water, which would have then locked him into this, that and the other thing, but we did not bring a strong enough answer for another. So that fight could have gone for 6 or more hours if they're just going to sit there and Muddy Water. Not my kind of strategy, but it is certainly a strategy that you can employ. And yeah, if you don't have a hard counter for it, you just get caught up in it, and then just drags out the day. So it's annoying when, because that accuracy accuracy drop would have, not been much, and we needed it to just stay in the game, and we got badly. So we'll just leave it there and move on to the next one, which is Tinkerton Dragonite, Blaziken Staraptor. So I'm expecting them to lead with Blaziken. So in that case, I think we lead with Diggersby. We take Rotom, who is our answer for Staraptor. Or do we take Coil? I think we take Rotom and we take Gengar. Yep. I'm not expecting them to bring Dragonite. They could very well bring Dragonite. They could even leave with Dragonite. They are a Tinkerton Tangle. So they leave a Chestnaught. Not ideal for us leading with DSB. They could easily use the grass and the fighting move, so Mega Chestnaught. I've never encountered a Mega Chestnaught before. We could be in a world of trouble here. Let's see what they decide to do. There is Mega Chestnaught. Excellent. So there's either fighting or grass, and either we were covered for, so that's okay. So they can switch out now, or they decide to stay in. So I'm not sure, I'm not counting from the Mega Chestnaught or Chestnaughts. I'm not overly threatened by grass and fighting moves, so I'm not sure what else it's got. Or whether it can survive a Sludge Wave. Ooh, it can survive a Sludge Wave. So what have they got in return for this? Stomping Tantrum. Oh, that is big damage. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, we're not going to be getting Rotom out. We've completely left out Gengar, who did not KO Chestnaught. I reckon a quick attack will be able to finish it off. Left it on 1%, that's not good. Drain Punch is going to hurt him, we didn't scout whether we were faster or not. Definitely should have Earthquaked them. Although Earthquake's less damage, isn't it? I think we've lost this to a Mega Chestnaught. Yeah, we couldn't have Earthquake, but we could have Body Slammed. And that's Spiky Shield, which would KO us. Hilarious. Well done. And then yeah, we've just got Rotom left too, he's not doing much, so... Dead again. Wow. Walled by a Mega Chestnaught. I was not expecting that, and I will have to respect that going into the future. And there we are, right back at the bottom. So, yeah. We didn't bring a counter for Milotic. We didn't bring a counter for Chestnaught. I guess obviously the Corviknight would have been really good then. We're on to the next one. So we've got Mega Gardevoir, Arcodon, maybe a Mega Raichu. They've already locked in. I haven't even finished looking at their team. Mega Glamora, then Mimikyu and the Mawile. So we've got a couple physical, a couple special. I'm thinking Scrappy's going to have a hell of a time against 3 fairies, so probably not. I think we lead Diggersby, because that covers the Glamora, the Raichu, and the Arcodon. We're definitely taking Gengar to try and get some of these fairies slash Mawile. And then, is Corviknight the answer? Yeah, I think Corviknight's the answer in this scenario. I don't know Rotom or Zuma though? Nah, we definitely need Coil Milotic. The Arco Rhythms can cause us a bit of problems. Okay, so they're leading with Formula. So it's a question whether they're going to try and do like the spikes slash stealth rock stuff, but we just got Earthquake, so we'll click it. We're faster, unless they're focus dashed, this will KO, but they are focus dashed. So they'll set up their spikes, poison, toxic debris, cool, and energy, which we survive. Don't even need to. So they could very easily spiky shield here, but they don't. So I was going to do like a quick attack, but quick attack into their spiky shield would have done us some damage. Earthquake avoids all of that. And either way, there are now multitudes of toxic spikes over here, which shouldn't impact Gengar coming in. Now we have Mimikyu, and our goal is to break the disguise. So let's see, yep, at least break the disguise. Excellent. Excellent. And then they'll hit us with something. Bam! That was a big hammer. But that sets up now for Gengar Shadow to come in. That is hefty. A hefty cost to pay. So Fortnite could come in. But yeah, we'll Gengar. And the toxic spikes disappeared. Is that because we're a poison type? I don't think I've had toxic spikes disappear before. But either way, we will Mega Evolve, Shadow Ball. Probably get a Copper Shadow Sneak here. So let's see what they decide to look into. Nothing. Okay, so they just take the KO. Okay. See you later. 2 down, 1 to go. And yeah, we've got 2 on 1 here. The wind's more long. So obviously not going to be full adjurating. The Intimidate doesn't impact us at all. But we'll just stay in. We'll Shadow Ball. They will Mega Evolve. Maybe Play Rock. Maybe Full Stance. We'll see. So, yep, we'll get our Shadow Ball up. Big damage. Lucky crit then. They've got rock, which, I mean, does pretty good damage. They could Sucker Punch us here. So, let us cover for that. And they do. We're under them, don't you worry. And we'll disable that Sucker Punch. Thank you very much. So, that last play there was because some game ago, someone in the middle of the wild Sucker Punched us. So why you carry disable, they might be salty about that now. So yeah, let's let them out Sucker Punch. So we'll revert to normal speed. I don't know if they could have won that even if they didn't Sucker Punch that turn. If they played rock and it connected, they would have obviously KO'd Mega Gengar. But then we had Fortnite in the back. We just needed to do 14% damage. So good fun. We've got time for one more. So yeah, then we start thinking about changes to the team. I mean, Scrafty was kind of useful, but not really. I think everyone's kind of pulling their weight at the moment, equally, because we've had a few games with everyone, really. Here we are with another potentially non-rain Mega Swampert, or just a normal Swampert. We've got Falinks, Gardevoir, they've got Corviknight, Volcarona. So again, we cover the Glamorally and do a bit of scouting with our Diggersby. They've got... Yeah, I don't think this is another encounter for Scrafty, so we'll take on the Big so I'm expecting a Glimmer lead, because that's a solid lead. And we can do it with the last one and see if we can make Toxic Spikes disappear again. They're going straight into Swampert. So, maybe not Mega, or are they... let's Body Slam. I'm expecting this to be Choice Scarf then, and they're going to be their answer to Gengar. But they're not Choice Scarfs, they're just normal Swampert. Okay, they are going to use us. Is this our opportunity to switch? I think it is. Because they could obviously use a water. I don't really want to sacrifice Rotom because we need it for the Corviknight, but let's get out. Rotom comes in, they're not going to Earthquake us, so they're going to Stealth Rock. Okay, so Swampert is their setup. They've got Yawn and Stealth Rock. But let's Will-O-Wisp it, so that it's not a problem going forward. So I'm still expecting it to have Earthquake at some point. So if we can get the burn on it, that's good. They're going to Yawn us again. But I'm quite happy to hang around this time more than last time. So let's Hydro Pump. See how much we can do to the Swampert. We'll only have Damp or Torrent. The damage does our... Oh, and we pop their Citrus Berry. Well, that's our biggest B when it comes back in to do a bit of work. And that's unfortunate, we've lost our Citrus Berry. And we will fall asleep. And we have 1 to 3 turns of sleep. So yeah, this will be our guaranteed turn of sleep. So we have a chance to wake up next turn. This is where they could reveal that they have Corviknight after they've set up their Stealth Rock. So it's Flip Turn, Yawn, and Stealth Rock. So yeah, I'd expect the last move to be Earthquake, but you know, they've got Falinks. Righto. So yeah, we've got a chance to wake up this turn. If we wake up and get another Will-O-Wisp, just burn their team and destroy any chance of them doing physical damage. Mega Falinks. So yeah, we've got a chance to wake up. They're deciding to no retreat, which gives them all of the buffs. Everything, really. Now we wake up. We Will-O-Wisp. But we miss. That is most unfortunate. And we're going to try again. They'll close combat, which is enough to KO us and not enable us to do any more. So they're obviously not going to... Okay, so if we use this opportunity to get Gengar in, which I think we will, because yeah, we're not overly threatened by a close combat. So I mean, we could disable it, but they're also speed boosted now. But let us see if we survive, see if they're faster, see if we survive. They could just as easily do another no retreat and get more stats. We can't disable right now because we don't want to disable their first combat. But yeah, they've got knockoff. Okay. Never thought of Falinks, let alone a Mega Falinks before, so did not know knockoff was a thing. They'll obviously close combat at our biggest B, and that will probably be all there is to it. So I mean, we've been Earthquake for some big damage. Our only hope, I think, is if we're faster, we Body Slam, we Paralyze, but that's get KO'd. Too easy. Alright, we will wrap it up there. I'll think about if there's anything we can do more to the team